51552 is the text this morning. Now, Jenny, fashion is a fickle beast and it's not easy to stay on top of all the trends as we know, but not for you. You're on top of it.
Well, we also have Speedo as a kind of a guru for us.
Well, he's only a shoe guru. Thankfully, there are people out there who can help, and in studio this morning we have two very stylish sisters, and I thought they were twins, they're not. Anita and Donna Ross. They have a brand new series on RTÉ Player called My Sister's Closet, and they're here to talk all things fashion. Good morning, girls. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Nicky.
So have you come down this morning? Have you out in the town in Dublin City last night?
We were out in the town last night, so we were feeling a wee bit fragile today.
Was it a late one?
Yes, it
pretty
was.
late,
definitely.
but no, it was good. I used to live in Dublin, so I went down to show Anita a bit.
I'll show her the sights.
The city lights.
Talk us through it anyway, girls. Neither of you started out in fashion, so tell us exactly where this whole thing came from.
Well, we always. I've worked in fashion since when I was 15. I went into a shop and just helped out in the shop any hours that I could. But we decided that we would go into have a career that we would always then have to fall back on should anything go wrong. And so Anita went into law. She studied law up in Belfast, and I studied speech and language therapy down in Dublin. Whilst we were there, we decided that the opportunity came up for a shop, and we went with it. And we that was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
It was in the middle of the recession. It wasn't.
So did you work in your chosen careers at any point, or did you just?
I was working as a solicitor and also had the boutique at the same time. So we were kind of juggling everything, and then we started the blog 4 years ago. It'll be 4 years next month, and from that really it snowballed, and something had to give. So I decided then that I would leave law behind and pursue fashion.
That was a big decision, wasn't it?
It was in the recession. It was, and you know what? It was very difficult at the time because we knew our product was good, but we weren't getting out there to people, and that's why we started My Sister's Closet blog, because that was a way of, you know, relating and showing what we had on offer, and also talking about other things, not just what we were selling in the shop. We would be talking about something we spotted in Primark, something that we spotted in River Island.
And we wanted our followers to get to know us and to get to know the buying process and bring them along, and that's what I think it helps. We then went and progressed to have our own clothing line, and that's very much based on the feedback that we get online from our followers.
The yay or nays.
The clothing line side of it, that's a big jump, isn't it? Was that like a box ticked? Was that like a dream come true to have it?
The final straw then I worked in a hospital up in Belfast and that was the very final straw then that I said I couldn't. I was doing 3 days in the hospital, 3 days in the shop, and any other hour on social media besides, and so we decided then that once we started the clothing line, and we now sell into about over 50 shops across Ireland and the UK. So we said that was it. Then we give up our other careers.
Talk to me what it was like growing up. I grew up with an older sister, and obviously because I never robbed her clothes, but I presume as sisters
that we know of,
that I remember, or that not even has any photographs. What's it like growing up as sisters? I presume sharing clothes, robbing clothes. Now there's a couple of years between us, I know, but was it still did that still exist?
Oh, robbing clothes happened all the time.
Still does happen.
I mean, she was living in Dublin. I would see things going up on, there was like Bebo or Facebook, and I would see
that's my top.
Yeah, that would be exactly what was happening, because you know there's another sister. We have another sister in between us. She just steals it. It goes into her room and never appears again. So it does happen all the time, and it still happens now. And I'm married, so really I shouldn't be. But yeah.
What about the sister in between you? Is she not involved in all this? Does she hate that talk around Christmas dinner? It must be boring for her.
Yeah, well, she's totally different. Blonde, blue eyes, fair skin. She has a completely different style. But she loves fashion as well. But she's a hairdresser, so we always kind of wanted to do this, and this was our thing. Yeah. But Denise, is very supportive. So
and it's nice being sisters and working together, and we do, as much as we do fight, and we that comes across on Snapchat, on everything. We're very natural with it, but it's nice working with your sister, and we
must be arguments though, right?
Oh,
I mean, I
time.
Can imagine, Jenny, if you're not my sister, but we actually don't argue, but I presume in business we would.
Yeah, there's difficult times. It isn't
we have very
easy.
different style as well. So whenever we would go buying for the boutique, buying other labels, not just even designing our own, sometimes Donna will choose really crazy pieces, and I'll have to rein her in and say, no, Donna, you're like, I don't think this is going to sell.
I think that's what works. That we have in ways different styles, and I think because we both bring different things to the table,
Yeah,
then
that's
that
good for
works. Yeah.
business then as well. And tell us about the online show as well. What sort of dilemmas do you help people out with? I'm hearing talk about even people going to weddings.
Yeah.
What to wear to a wedding, kind of the do's and don'ts. That's quite a stressful one for people because they're, depending whether it's a black tie wedding, then if it's a summer wedding, then they're kind of thinking the length of it. And what are the kind of do's and don'ts you would say to most people?
Sometimes the thing is to keep it simple. We always say have one statement piece, whether that be the bag, the fascinator, and work around that. Don't have everything, you know, bigger and
yeah,
you know,
there was
it
a
needs
time.
to be.
There was
subtle.
a time back a few years ago. There was a label, Virgo's Lounge, came to Ireland, and it was all embellished dresses. And you know, everybody was wearing Virgo's Lounge. You could have turned up at a wedding and there could have been like 3 people wearing the same dress. And the thing is, their dresses were so ornate that you had to keep it so simple with everything else. You couldn't wear a hat with them. You couldn't, you know, it had to be really simplistic, your accessories. So I think the key is keeping it simple.
Yeah.
But people do get really stressed out about going to a wedding, particularly if it's a family wedding. And on the show, Aileen, who we dressed for the wedding, she had just had a baby not very long before that, and
that's hard,
Yeah.
you know.
And that's problems that we face all the time in the shop. That's good, but we can relate to. It's all issues that we hear on a daily basis. So I think it's bite-sized episodes that you know you can quickly
watch
get good
quickly,
tips.
yeah.
And what do you feel about people wearing white to a wedding? Because that is always a big. It's not even just white. I've had friends of mine.
I presume
going,
the
"I
bride
don't
is
think-"
okay.
The bride's okay, but I've had friends of mine even saying, "I don't think I can wear that because there's white in it." But it's like a fleck of white. At what point, you know, what is the no-no and the rule there?
I think that the problem is the bride often doesn't mind, you know, and they often come into me and they say, "No, I don't even notice on the day." But it's the fact that the other guests at the wedding say, "Did you see your one wearing the white on the day?" And I think that subtly you can pull it into your outfit definitely and pull out one of the other colours if there is something. It's a no for me, and it does often come into us in the shop, and I still say just because it's sometimes you want to be talked about for the right reasons and not, you know.
You also don't want to stand out at someone else's wedding.
Yeah.
Really. It's the one day you don't want to feel that the attention is on you. You'd rather kind of blend in and enjoy your day.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what about trends that are coming in now? What should we be looking at having in our wardrobe for sort of spring into summer?
Embroidered tops are massive.
Really? Okay.
Frills, you know, there's an awful lot of that on the high street and also in the boutiques. Frills are massive again, and that's running right through to spring summer 2018 because we've our collections bought for then, and it's not going anywhere.
It came
staying
from
around.
Gucci right down to the high street, and I think it's pulled into your dresses or your embroidered tops with floral detail on it. And there's lots of everything's. It's gone very girly again, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I think there's been there's lots of pinks and soft and subtle.
How do you think Jenny Green is looking today, girls?
Looking fab.
Can I just say, for the record, I didn't know you were coming in today until I got in, and I went, "Oh God, what am I wearing?"
So talk to you a little bit more about your own fashion line. How often is
Donna's wearing
Yeah,
the
so
wee
my
sweaters
sequin,
from it. So
sequin tops.
today.
Once again, everything's.
We're on Facebook
like-
Live, by the way, on 2FM. If anyone wants to check us out, well, not us, but check out the ladies.
Yeah, so we started the label a year and a half ago.
And what's it called?
My
My
Sister's
Sister's
Closet.
My Sister's
then.
Closet,
So
okay.
the blog is My Sister's Closet, then the label's My Sister's Closet. The
As
label
well.
we went our MSC. So we went to London in February and showed it on a much larger platform. So we've got accounts now in Italy, Spain, and we've got an agent in Dublin who sells it across Ireland, and then one over in England. So it's been fantastic, and it very much is based as well on of the followers on our Facebook page or Instagram, and we get from the year now reactions.
And what are your
We get a lot of
social
feedback
media
from them.
handles, just for anyone listening at the moment, if they want to go and check out?
Well, Snapchat is MSC blog, and our Facebook is My Sister's Closet blog, like a hyphen and then blog, and Twitter is MSC blog 1. Yep. So
Excellent. What's the plan for the rest of the day? You heading up home or you?
back to the shop.
Back to the shop,
So back up to the Lynn Green. So
Work.
Mm-hmm.
That
No
is
rest
great.
for
The
the
series
wicked.
is on the RTÉ Player, My Sister's Closet. There's a couple of episodes up there so far anyway, if people want to go and check them out. Thank you so much, girls.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
for
for
Anita,
having us
Donna,
in.
thanks very much. Right,
Thank
it's
you.
2FM. We'll take a little bit of